Coach Bo.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
Everything been all right?
Man, trying to stay out the way.
Word.
Trying to stay out the way, man. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having fun with it still?
Yeah. Man, I'm going to continue on doing it as long as I am having fun, man. And if it ever get to that point of not, I'll stop doing it, but I don't see that no time soon. So.
I think everybody will appreciate that from me. I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Oh, man, I got to, when you call and ask, man, anything for you guys, man.
PJ alumni.
Got to take care of each other. You know how that goes. So.
Most deaf. So spring game just went by.
Yeah.
What you thinking? How you feeling? Graduated a lot,
man. Still excited about the young guys that we have, man, coming back, but the good nucleus. Man, I'm excited about this group, man. The work that they put in, the effort that they put in, man, and the way that they just come to work every day, put their hats on, man, and go to work. So, unique group, a lot of young talent in this group. We're just gonna see how fast some of these young pups can grow up.
All right.
Yeah.
You seen that the young guys like stepping up in a leadership role?
I think that's kind of already been set in place, man. Not necessarily just young guys, but guys that's about to be seniors, like your Aiden Halls and your Nate Lavenders and your BJs and Deshaun Loves. You got those guys, even Xavier Banks. Big Abbott. You got those guys, man, that's been trying to step in and fulfill those leadership roles. And I think guys, like Inez Cooper last year did an awesome job with kind of passing off that torch. And it hasn't been much drop off, but you know how some of these kids can get lax. You kind of got to turn up the heat a little bit on them to get them back going. So, but yeah, for the most part, man, a lot of guys been stepping up and trying to do their part in that regard.
Is that the fun part of you, like the rebuilding part?
Yeah, man, that's the part that makes it exciting. Having to figure out how to pull different things out of kids. Seeing that growth and being able to see a guy being able to do things that they couldn't do the year before, or even the growth in the weight room, which happens to show off on the field also. So man, it's definitely one of those things, man, that get you going in the morning, want to get you to get to work and keep you up at night, trying to figure out how to get these jokers better and what to do. Every year the dynamic changes, so you got to change with the dynamics of it too. So.
Word.
Yeah.
And this is your 5th year as a head coach, right? Going
into my 5th year as a head coach, man. June 18th was my official hire date.
Word.
And in 2018 when I first got the job, man. So getting ready to go into year 5 as a head coach here at Pleasant Grove, and as a head coach in general. So definitely excited about it.
Man, I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was the first day you got hired. I was in the weight room working out, because I always loved working out up here at the high school. But I remember you just coming in the weight room and you shook everybody's hand that was in there, and you were just like, you were like a kid in the candy store, man. Like you was just like smiling. You couldn't stop smiling. Like you wasn't no smirk. You was like all 32 something. Like.
Man, just was excited. Excited to have an opportunity. Somebody gave me a chance and have opportunity, but having a chance to come back home and do it, it always means a little bit more, man. And I know what Pleasant Grove football meant to me, and to be able to come up here and see guys that's still around and wanting to make sure that they was comfortable with wanting to be around. You're only as strong as those that are around you, man, and trying to establish that and get guys to understand, like, man, just because you played and you left don't mean that it's not still home. I want them to be comfortable with being able to come back and that's one of the things that I wanted to do when I came in, man, was continue on bridging that gap, between guys that played here, that helped build, what's already was in place, and to take this thing to another level.
Word. I noticed that from you. Like, you got a lot of things that you do to, like, keep the older guys that, like you said, graduated like 11 or 12, 13, whatever, man. You keep them, like, real integrated, like, with the program. Why was that so important to you?
Man, just in general, you just never know. You don't know what guy might be your next coach on your staff. We don't know how we may be inspiring other guys to get into this profession or to want to help with these kids. You don't ever know, man. It might be your next CEO that graduated in 2011 or, your next whomever, and if I'm a butthole of those guys, why would they want to come back and invest into this program?
Right.
In order for things to continue on growing around here and for us to continue on building on those things that we have set here at Pleasant Grove, you got to be able to, allow those guys to be around, man. And that's a blessing for them to want to be around. Because I can remember at one time, guys didn't want to come around, you know what I mean? And, now hopefully we put it in a position where it's good to say that you went to Pleasant Grove. And it's good to say that you coming back to visit, So, man, I welcome all of them to come back, man, to come see us, come see what we're doing, and come be a part of what we're doing.
Word. Yeah. That's cool right there. Like, who did that for you?
Oh, man. Man, I played for Coach Luca. And when I was here, Coach Elgin was the DC, so my relationship with Coach Luca and Coach Elgin never changed. I didn't have the privilege of Coach Elgin being my head coach, so I can't say how he was as a head coach or not, but my relationship with him as a player, the relationship now, is still awesome. So Coach Luca never made me feel uncomfortable wanting to come back, even over the summer. When I was in college, coming back to work out, he never made me uncomfortable with being out there. Even if they were doing 7 on or, routes on there, he never had me in a situation or position where I didn't feel comfortable being able to get work in with them. So, they always welcomed me back. Always wanted me to come back, and help or do anything, around the team in general. So, that was one of those things, man, that I definitely, wanted to do.
So went to Miles College.
Yeah.
Played ball out there. Yeah. Did you have an NFL dream?
Of course, man.
Yeah. I know Pops,
Yeah. So, man, I definitely, eventually, man, that football deflates. When I came out of college, coming from a smaller HBCU, man, I wouldn't change my experience for nothing, that I went through at Miles and the people that I met, the friends, man, and lifetime memories, that I had at Miles through teammates and coaches, So definitely would never change my HBCU experience, man. But, man, I had aspirations. I was blessed with the opportunity to do my pro day at Auburn, because of, my stepfather. My stepfather is, and was the only guy not from Auburn and got a chance to run down there. And they had some guys that was supposed to be picked high, that year. Quentin Groves came out that year. I think Pat Lee came out that year. So, having that opportunity to run and work out in front of 32 NFL teams, man, was awesome. Really don't talk about it much, because it's a sore spot. But, man, I was blessed with, getting some phone calls, leading up to the draft. Minnesota Vikings, Colts, Buffalo Bills, San Diego Chargers. And, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get drafted. I just wanted an opportunity to get in camp. Didn't get that opportunity, but chased the football for a year, man. Semi-pro, had some workouts with Columbus Lions, actually made the Columbus Lions Arena team, and Arena 1 canceled.
Word.
So when Arena 1 canceled, they took over a lot of those guys' contracts, and Coach wanted me to come back in December of the following year and come join the team. Man, I was just, I didn't want to be one of those guys that chase forever, man, and I probably could have chased a little bit longer, but I think God had another calling for me, to go through those experiences and to handle those experiences, to be able to help somebody else down the line with some of those experiences. But, You know, it didn't work out. You know, but now I'm blessed with being able to be around the game, and I think in the way that I'm supposed to be. So, you know, I think it's working out so far.
Yeah, I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I ain't the only one thinking about it, but I know every athlete still remember this type of stuff. But like, what your numbers look like? What that 40 was talking about?
Man, that's probably what hurt me. Man, listen, I never been a blazer. You know, I've never been a blazer. So, man, pro day, I ran mid 4.5s. Short shuttle was good. 225, 18 times. L drill was good. Now when it came down to running routes and catching the football, you know, that was my thing. So, you know, I guess my NFL experience highlight pro day. You running at Auburn, and we running out routes. And I can remember running 10-yard out, speed turn. Quarterback kind of threw it out there, and I remember having to dive and catch the ball with the one hand, and rolled up and finished the drill or whatever. And then Coach Tomlinson was with the Steelers, and he was like, "Good catch, LeBeaux, good catch." And you know, in my mind, from that point on, I kind of took over the receiver drill as far as, you know, route running and catching the football. You know, with the other guys that was working out that day. So. Man, I'll never forget those experiences, you know, even talking with, you know, with some of the coaches, man, and you know, pre-workout, you know, just talking with them about my dad and, you know, the memories they had, you know, with my dad and playing or coaching against my dad or playing with my dad. So getting to get that experience and talk with those guys was, you know, was life-changing also. So.
Word.
Yeah.
You know a couple of dudes in the pros now, don't you?
Man, I got a couple of guys, man. You know, I got Darrell Williams, plays center, Kansas City Chiefs. Darrell Payne, Coach Darrell, who was at Shays Valley. Wes Saxton is kind of back and forth a little bit. He's playing the USFL League right now. Wes was in the league about 5 or 6 years playing tight end. Wes is one of my guys.
He Shays Valley too?
Well, I had Wes when I was at Bessemer City before he went to Harrytown. My guy Keith Mixon got a chance with the XFL coming up soon. Yeah, so we're excited about that for him as far as having that opportunity to go try out for that. So, you know, I got cousin, man, Brandon Barnes, NFL. He's actually starts for the Houston Gamblers with the USFL team right now, man. So, you know, awesome watching him on, you know, on Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday, man, get the opportunity to continue on, you know, playing the game. So there's a couple of guys, and there's probably some guys that I'm missing that I can't think about, you know, offhand, man, that, you know, that I probably came in communication with. But, you know, definitely those are some of the few guys.
Word.
Yeah.
You been to the USFL game yet?
I haven't. Man, I'm wide open. My son playing travel baseball, so
yeah. He taking up all the time right now.
Listen, man, we got to get on the road tomorrow, and shoot, 2 weeks got to go to Kentucky for a tournament. So you know, he got me wide open, man. So when it's off season and I can get a wife a break, you know, as far as being there for him and being at the games and practice, man, I try to step in and do that.
Word.
Yeah.
You talked about a lot of those guys that, you know, playing pro ball out there, you know. I'm pretty sure all of them probably got good things to say about you, too.
I hope.
Who was the most influential coach for you? Who you got something? Who else you got something good to say about? Whether he coached you or, you know, you worked on his staff prior.
Man, you know, it's a combination of a lot of guys. You know, I didn't know or understand at the time, you know, what the Lord was setting in place for me as far as, you know, being in a position of being a coach, man. But I was always very observative of how people did things, how people coach, and how people handle situations, not knowing, you know, I was actually paying attention to that aspect of it. But, man, Coach Robichaux back home in Louisiana, high school that I came from originally, Destrand High School, Stephen Robichaux, man, Coach Robe was a player's coach. He was firm. He believed in what he believed in and how he was going to handle things, but he was fair. So, you know, getting those things from Coach Robichaux, man, and he was excited, always excited about the game, you know, about the game of football, man, and the way that it was played. Then coming here to Alabama, man, and meeting one of the best men, you know, I ever met as far as Coach Luker. Man, Coach Luke is one of the most genuine guys. I talk to Coach Luke probably once a month at least, just to, check in with him and have conversations with him. When I came here, man, he treated me like I was a guy that was already here. Not knowing my ability or what I can bring to the table yet, and he was who he was. Even with Coach Elgin, the same thing. Coach Elgin blunt, he mean what he say. He firm also.
Yeah.
But again, he was another guy that was fair, and you wanted his honest opinion. No chaser. 'Cause that's how Coach Elgin was gonna give it to you.
Right.
That's what you was gonna get, and you can respect that. Man, and then once you get into college, man, it's a couple of guys, that I played for, position wise. But my head coach, Wade Street, man, listen, if you can survive Coach Streeter, if you played at Miles on the times that Coach Streeter was the head coach, if you can survive during those times, man, it built you to be a better man. I think that transition into me and being underneath his leadership, it prepared me for life. It prepared me to be a man. It prepared me to be able to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go hit that clock if I got to do that to feed my family. He prepared me for that.
It was so crazy at the time.
And didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Man, definitely didn't understand it. Man, but that was definitely, a blessing to being around him and Coach Pizant. Coach Pizant, which is the girls softball coach at Miles now, was my OC. And there'd be times where Coach Pizant would come in there, man, I'm a red shirt freshman. He'll throw me the remote and tell me to run film. And it was teaching me how to watch film, teaching me how to prepare others, that played the position that was in the meeting room with us, man. So, grateful for those opportunities, man, and those different things too. So, and man, I played for receiver coach. Man, I had I had 4 different receiver coaches in 5 years in college.
Word.
So, but all of them, man. The head coach at McAdory right now, Coach Holmes is my receiver coach my freshman year. From the technical aspect, man, I learned so much from him that first year, and he's still a guy I consider to be a mentor I can reach out to. Coach Ward, Coach Ford, which used to be the head coach at Jess Lanier. He was old school.
Yeah.
And then the last guy I had was Coach Black, Marcus Darrell, which was an NFL guy. Played in the league, and from there he was preparing us how to be professionals. How to play the position a certain way. How to prepare for the games, and he challenged me. He challenged me right off the back, and I was able to accept those challenges. Man, he made me a better football player. So, those are just some of the guys, man, that I came across. Man, I'm always willing to learn. I'm always watching and willing to go ask questions. Was taught, man, when you get to the point to where you can't learn anything new, you're not willing to learn anything new, you might as well be dead. So, man, I'm always trying to learn.
I like that too. I think that's when everybody try to compare like being old with age. I think being old just come with like when you don't want to listen no more. You feel like you know everything, you know it all. You get old and you die out like that.
Yeah, man. What's the old school saying? You got two ears and one mouth for a reason to listen for. That's true, man. You got to be willing to listen, man.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to listen. And, man, I had a chance to coach underneath Bill Smith. And I tell people all the time, man, outside of the football aspect, the things that I learned, man, one of the biggest lessons I learned from Bill Smith was, Coach, you always have to do right by people. Do right by people and let everything else take care of itself, man. So
that's important too, because that's not even like a real football lesson.
Man,
that's a life lesson.
In general, this is the type of guy where, and we playing another team on a Friday, we mess around to get one of their footballs, right? For us, that's practice ball. We got us a new ball. Man, I seen Coach Smith mail another team football back to him, man.
Wow.
Just what type of man he is. So, genuine, so, man, I've been blessed to be around quality men, you know what I mean, to be able to learn from some quality men. So, I'm just appreciative of all of them, and which, all, still willing to teach me something if it's something that need to be taught. So
I saw you had a long list of coaches that you
I do,
like.
man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's and there's probably some folks that I've missed, man. Man, getting to this point ain't been the easiest thing, man, and being in this position. So, man, it's a lot of things and a lot of different people that helped me get to this point. You know, whether it was, you know, directly or indirectly. So, but I'm just appreciative, man, in general. So.
And you ain't got no coaches that you didn't particularly like? You ain't got to say their name.
Man, let me see, man. I don't think I really had no issues with any coaches.
Word.
You know, nah, I ain't gonna say it's none that I dislike.
Was it one that pushed you to the limit one day, but like when you look back on it, you kind of see the reason?
No, but, you know, talking about somebody that lit that fire in me, man, Coach Robichaux, you know, my head coach back in Louisiana.
What grade was this?
I was, man, I was going into my sophomore year. I was going into my sophomore year, the spring of my sophomore year, and I had, we was walking. I can remember walking through the walkway at Destrehan, and if you know the thing about Destrehan, it's the old breezeway with a track locker room on one side and the football locker rooms on the other side, and we walked through the breezeway off the game field, and I asked him, like, you know, Coach, so let me ask you a question. You think I'd be able to play college football? And the answer he gave me wasn't what I was expecting. And, you know, and he said...
He just said the clean way, he said the dirty way.
Nah, he said it the clean way, but he was honest. He was like, D, he said, be honest with you right now, no. He said, you know, you got a lot of work you need to do.
Did you say Division I college football, or did you just say college football? Wow.
I just said, you think I could play college football?
Yeah.
And he was blunt, but I didn't know what he was doing. And I didn't find that out till later down the line, you know, years later. But
you know why he said that?
We had a conversation. So when I got a chance, man, I moved here, played my senior year at Pleasant Grove. And I ended up being the first All-State receiver in school history.
Never be another number one.
Never be another number one, first All-State. Man, I think I still got the catches record, you know, most catches in the game record here at Pleasant Grove. But anyway, making an All-State team, man, Monday Morning Football Club, invitee, and all district and all that stuff, man. I can remember calling them. And when I got my scholarship offer and made All-State, because all of it was like right around Christmas, you know, right around that time.
Holidays.
And I was able to, my dad was still, my pops was still alive, and I called Coach Rowe, and I was like, you know, Coach, just let you know, man, I made the All-State team, and, you know, got a couple of scholarship offers on the table. And he was like, D, I'm not surprised. He said, it was always in you. He said, we were just waiting for you to pull it out. And he said, so in just that phone call, I'm thinking I'm calling him to tell him, like, yeah, I did it. You know, you told me I couldn't. But not knowing he seen something in me, but that was his way of pulling it out of me. So, man, I was appreciative of that. But, you know, it put a fire in me that still burns, man. So
at that time, like, you know, you young, probably feeling yourself. Did you think you were kind of spoiled because of who your dad was?
Nah, not at all, because he didn't play that.
Word.
You know what I mean? And so that part of it is crazy, man, because my biological father was like one of the best running backs that had came from the high school that I was at the time.
Yeah.
So them shoes had to be filled in general playing that position. Because up to my sophomore year, that's what I played. I played running back, you know, and with my stepfather being, you know, just retired from NFL and, you know, and coached for a while, but he never allowed me to be mediocre. You know, the conversation that he always used to have, you know, no matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody better than you. But that don't mean you allow another man to outwork you. And I still live by that to this day. So, nah, listen, I learned how to be humble at an early age, and he wouldn't allow, you know, me not to be humble. So, nah, man, I didn't walk around like that. You know, I had a chip on my shoulder because I wanted to be, you know, one of the best. I wanted to be a guy. You know, that was just a chip that I carried, period. You know, in general, man, my aspirations in life started early for me. So, you know, my walk was a little bit different than, you know, guys that was my age or that was around me. So,
was it pressure?
Pressure?
From either you or anybody else around? Like, did anybody be like, man, you got to fill up too? You know, you got all
nah,
this good
not
work
necessarily. I don't think not directly. You know, I tell anybody, man, my biggest critic wasn't going to be a coach or nobody else. My biggest critic was always me, you know, from the standpoint of, you know, I tell the story all the time. You probably heard the story of me talking to these boys and just giving my testimony, man. And, you know, my first Little League game, you know, having to walk, you know, and the car not working, man. My mom
Yeah.
had that 78 Photo Malibu, and it wouldn't start.
Yeah.
And mom not allowing me to miss my first game, and we having to walk, you know, to my first Little League game at Buddy Lawson. At the time, it was Morgan Gym. You know the thing about football in Louisiana in the Kenner era, you already know what time it is with that. But, man, we had to walk. My mom made sure I didn't miss when we walked to the game, and from being a 6-year-old and could remember that, like, I'll make sure my mom ain't got to walk. You know, and this was prior to my mom meeting my stepfather and being in a position of, you know, being, you know, blessed in that avenue of it. But, you know, man, so that's why I say, man, my walk was a little bit different, always was different. You know, I carried something different on my shoulders that, you know, most folks didn't understand. So, so I don't think it was much pressure besides what I put on myself. Yeah.
Word. Is there anything, like you talked about all the lessons that these coaches did give you on your way here to where you are now as a head coach of Pleasant Grove? What's something that they just couldn't teach you? You had to just get in there and get dirty with it, coach?
Time, man.
Word.
Time is one of the most precious things that you can't get back. And not having enough time when I first jumped in, it was just like, you know, wanting to do everything, wanting to be perfect, you know, and understanding that avenue of it, man. So, you know, and just the things that you don't see. A lot of stuff with this head coaching thing ain't got nothing to do with X's and O's. It got stuff to do with everything outside the ball, you know, most of the time. So, you know, the football part is easy.
Sure.
You know, dealing with the outside the football stuff is the stuff that you don't know, man. If you can come sit with me on a Friday, and we can pull out a piece of paper, and we can sit down and write down everything that ain't got nothing to do with the game that day that I'm gonna get a question about Friday, and it's probably gonna be on, you know, 25 to 30 different questions that ain't got nothing to do with the game that day. So, you know, I guess that's part of it, man, and you know, you kind of can't really be prepared for it until you kind of get thrown into it. So,
Who was the mentor for you? Did you have one?
Was that mentor?
Like when you first got to your head coach, any part of coaching, because you was wide receiver coach at one point, OC at one point. Yeah, and then head coach. Like, what was
man,
the
it was
mentor?
multiple guys that I reached out to, man. That like I said, Coach Luker, you know, is still a guy that, you know, I lean on for advice, even if it's not even about X's and O's. Coach Holmes over at McAdore's, and you know, another guy who always kept it real with me, was always honest with me, man. You know, now, you know, even with Coach Smith, reaching back to Coach Smith about different things, you know, being able to be underneath him, and man, it's a multitude of guys that I can say are kind of mentors, man. And you know, I try not to be one of those guys that's a butt, you know, unapproachable, you know. So me being able to make phone calls to anybody in general, you know, guys are normally, you know, pretty good towards, you know, being able to have those conversations with me. So, I mean, I can call Coach Freeman. If he don't pick up, he'll call me back, you know, and Coach Freeman don't mind sharing information with me. He don't mind talking to me. He don't mind helping me. So, you know, he's another guy that, man, that I can reach out to. So, you know, that's a blessing to be able to have that avenue, to be able to reach out to guys, man. Man, one of my good friends is the head coach at Carver Birmingham, you know, Rod Carson, man, that's my guy. You know, me and Carson be on the phone 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night just talking in general, what is ball, you know, what is life, you know, and be able to have somebody that you can lean on in that aspect of it, man, it's big, you know, especially as men, as black men, you know, we don't have that. You know, we feel as if we don't have that outlet, so, man, but I'm just appreciative for all my relationships, man, that I'm able to have and being able to lean on people, so.
Word. That sounds like, you know, got the trust in God in there. Because, like, I mean, like you said, I like the analogy you used earlier, the football deflated at some point.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so when did you know you had to start trusting God and start doing your own thing? Because if you were doing your own thing, you probably wouldn't even
at all, man. Listen,
be nowhere near where you at now.
Man, everything I've done up to this point, man, God has had his hands in. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just portray that I'm just the perfect man, or just the most godliest man. You know, I sit here and I'd be lying to you if I told you that, man, but I'm a believer. You know, I don't have a problem with saying that. You know, man, how things lined up, you know, and to be put in this position, and how things have lined up in the past to be put in other positions, man, I know it was bigger than me. You know, so I'm definitely appreciative of that. I'm a praying man. You know, sometimes they say favor not fair.
Right.
You know, so I'm grateful that favor has been, you know, on my side in a lot of situations, man. And man, God always continues showing up and showing His face.
Was there a breakdown moment for you where you just like I'm tired of doing it on my own?
Man,
I know
listen.
I had one like that where I was in the shower crying. You know, just like, dang God, I can't do it no more. I'm just give you the will. So what was that for you?
Man, listen, it's a story I don't think I don't know about besides my mom and my wife that I just shared this with, man. But so this is exclusive, you're getting exclusive information.
For sure.
So man, during that transition of leaving college, you know, got a college degree. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from college. I'm the first male out of my grandmother kids and grandkids to graduate high school.
Wow.
You know,
on which side of the family?
so on my mom's side.
Okay.
So, man, mass comm, you know, degree, man, working and was working in the plasma lab for a while, and you know that didn't work out, man. And in the process of getting ready to get married, and man, I'm trying to think, was DJ born already? You know, I wasn't full-time teacher, so you know, trying to find means to try to figure it out. So, man, I was working with a temp service through UAB, and reading, you know, the information of what I was going to be doing. You know, I thought I was like, all right, well, I can do that. I can file papers. That's what I thought I was going to be doing, at least. And so I'm there, you know, dressed in, you know, my khakis and nice shirt on, polo, whatever, and dress shoes, and, you know, waiting to start that first day. And, man, they sent me to this building. I think it was like a science building. And the guy met me at the door and kind of described what we was going to do, man. The guy handed me my cart. And it was basically a cart with all the janitor service stuff on it. So it had the mop and the broom, and he basically told me what floors I was gonna have to clean that day.
Wow. And
I could remember, man, being in the bathroom at that UAB building, man, and I could remember calling my mom and telling her, like, man, I'm a freaking janitor. You know, I'm a freaking janitor. Like, I went to school, you know, I got a college degree, I'm in here and I'm a freaking janitor. Like, you know, in that moment, man, and kind of getting in that moment and praying and, man, crying, you know, going through everything, man. And, you know, my mom was from New Orleans. You know, my mom went to Booker T. Washington High School, which is, you know, was just about connected to the Cali Hill Project. So, you know, my mama, you know, she knew when to give tough love. And I remember that day she told me, she said, son, I always remember. She said, if you're gonna shovel crap, make sure you're the best crap shoveler that is. No matter what it is that you're doing, just make sure you're being the best at it that you can be. And God will see that, and He'll provide other means if you can show that that's what you need to be doing. So, needless to say, that was my last day working there. I didn't go back. Man, and you know, and things kind of started matriculating and kind of happening for me, man. And it worked itself out. It worked itself out, man. But that was one of my breaking points, man. You know, being a janitor for a few hours, man, opened my eyes, man, and you know, and just pushed me to carry on and do some other stuff. So. Listen, man, tough times, man, but you know, tough times don't last always. So, you know, I'm grateful for that though.
Right.
Yeah.
You should. Yeah, man. This next question kind of veer off a little bit into that. You know, you talk about like how your mom told you, you shoveling crap, be the best at it. So that kind of deal with your attitude, right? A lot of people may look from the outside looking in and see, man, Coach LeBeaux, he loud, cocky, always around them boys. You know, what you got to say, whatever they want to call it. I see you, Coach, and I mean, I've been around you. I don't see like the cocky. You know, I don't see that. I really do see humble. I do see a guy that is confident in himself. Like, what you got to say to those kind of critics that just don't see that as a guy? I don't know if it's because you a black man or a man or just somebody in a head coach position.
Man, I don't know where they'll get that aspect of it from. Because if you get to know me and understand, you know, who I am and what what I'm about, you know, what I represent, you know, I'm the farthest thing from that. You know, man, I'm a humble man. I've been humbled. I've been in a situation where I had to be humbled. You know, so, you know, though I carry a chip on my shoulder, definitely. And anything that I do, definitely. Do, you know, I like for my guys to be overlooked? No. You know, so all those things, you know, and we work our butt off, man. We work, you know, what folks may just see on Friday, or what they think they see, man. That's the end product of what you think you see. You know, man, nobody up with me 1, 2 o'clock in the morning watching film. You know, nobody not getting these phone calls from these kids at 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, you know, saying, Coach, they need this. You know, nobody not sacrificing, you know, family time or different things of that nature, man, to put themselves in a position to be successful. And, you know, man, folks can sit there and say that, you know, I want these kids to be a better, you know, better man and, you know, better husband, better leader, and all those different things, and don't mean it. Like, man, I mean it. You know what I mean? I'm invested in the whole kid. Yeah. It ain't, you know, we got a saying, you know that, man, it's big in the ball around here for us. And on the outside looking in, and if it is critics that's saying that, it's because they don't understand. And they're not a part of what we're doing, so they can't understand it. And so, you know, a lot of times folks try to crack that code. They try to come and figure out, you know, what we doing over here in Pleasant Grove, or how Coach LeBeaux doing things over there at Pleasant Grove. Man, it ain't me. It ain't what I'm doing, man. It's what I've been blessed to do. You know, I hope that don't come off cocky or arrogant, man, but I just know that my hand's not fully on this thing, man. That this thing anointed in a whole nother way, and I'm just the driver of the ship, man. But I'm not the one that's steering the ship, man. So, you know, man, you know, man, I'm just grateful, bro, for every day and every opportunity I get to do what I love. You know, I don't wake up and go to work, man. I don't have to, you know, go to work, man. I get to go to work. It's a difference. You know, I wake up and get to come here and be with these kids. I don't gotta go over here with them. It's a difference. If I gotta go do something, I mean, that I probably don't want to do it. Man, I get to go do it, man. I'm so excited about, you know, starting summer workouts because I get to get around my guys. I don't got to be around them. It's a difference, man. You know, during the season, even the off season, man, you gotta pry me from this place. You gotta put me from over here because I want to be over here, want to be around my guys, man.
Lying, cause I see your truck out here all the time.
Man, just working, you know, just trying to figure it out. You know, how can I make this place better? How can I be better for this place? How can I be better for this city? You know, how can I be better for this state? You know, so, you know, those are just some of the things, man, that's constantly, you know, on my mind of what I'm working towards. So,
is there any criticism that does hit your radar, that does bother you?
I mean, yes and no, man. You know, I hear some of the stuff out there. You know, but again,
I remember when the field situation, when you were getting the turf down, and you had to lay over on, you know, by them bringing it in and whatever. I know people were coming at you by saying, like, you know, why won't they just go play at the complex?
Well, folks don't know who didn't come and ask. We tried to play at the complex. You know, at the time, the complex had a dang on a hole, you know, on the right sideline that still was dissolving. That they had to finally go over there and fix that. Nobody wanted to take care of at the time. And then, you know, I wasn't about to put my guys on the field that wasn't prepared to play on, and now we get out there and get hurt. But, you know, that was something that I had aspirations of doing, even going back and playing the throwback game at the complex.
Man, that's alumni game. Alumni guys talk about that all the time.
Yeah, like, man, you got to think, man, like, I played at the complex.
Word.
My year was the first year that anybody used the field house over there.
Word.
You know, so my senior year was the year that they built the home side, well, the new home side, which used to be the visitor side, which a lot of folks don't know that.
I didn't know that.
So the side that everybody come in was the visitor side at one point. My senior year was the first year they had the ticket booths, you know, the concession stand. So, man, we tried. You know, we went over there.
Complex, that do make sense.
Yeah. So that's how it was set up originally. Yeah. And so, man, we tried. You know, we tried to look at the field, and it just wasn't in shape for us to go over there, for me to put, you know, our kids over there, let alone ask another team to come over there and play, man, because, trust me, it didn't go and play anywhere else. Didn't help me. You know, I was on the road for 8 games.
Felt like an away game.
Listen, man, we was on the road for 8 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You know, got to the point where we stopped unpacking the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, so if I could have played over at the complex, listen, it'd have been a whole lot easier for me. You know, less money. Save some money. You know, would have helped out.
Feeling out there.
Man, listen, man. You know, that thing was different at the complex. You pull up at 6:30 and that smoke in there already from them grills and that mist on the field, man. So, nah, I mean, if we was able to play at the complex, man, we would have played at the complex. So, but
yeah,
you know, something now that I didn't hear, which, you know, if I would have addressed that one.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, that's just one of those things. Sometimes folks, you know, reach a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I get, like I said, the people outside looking in may say things, you know. And I ain't gonna lie to you, Coach. I'm one of the people that be out there defending you.
I appreciate it. But you know, man, you've been with us the past 4 years. You know, since day one. You seen the transition of, you know, how it was when I got here and getting to the point of where it is now, man. So you know and understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The work that we put in. You know and understand, man, how we work. You know, so that's why I haven't really allowed it to bother me too much. You know, I hate folks that try to chip away at what we did, to try to, you know, discredit what we done here. You know, and now that becomes frustrating. You know, and there's other stuff that's out there, man. But you know, I let them have it. Because half of the time the conversation don't ever make it all the way to me. So, you know, I leave it as it is.
You know, you got a lot of people that'll block that down for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And you know, I always been taught, man, sometimes when you out there doing what you're supposed to do, man, God will fight your battles for you without you even having to fight. And so, man, I'm appreciative for those guys out there that know, you know, that's out there that know, man, and fighting those battles for me. So, definitely appreciate that. You know? So, less stress for me.
Word. Yeah, you got a lot of warriors out there. It got to be a big fight for it to hit the chief.
Oh, man, so listen.
You got a lot of people out there that's, you know, showing love, supporting you, Coach.
Man, I'm definitely appreciative of that, man.
You said that, like, a lot of the things that you changed over here at PG, and one of the things that I've noticed, you know, I played with Coach Edge. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Coach Edge. I got a lot of love for him, too. But you did change the culture over here. Was that a point of emphasis for you? Or was it just like, it just happened?
I think it just kind of happened. I don't want to say, man, me and my wife talk about this question all the time. Like, how do I answer that? You know, because I get asked that question by other folks. Like, well, Coach, how you change the culture? How you change the culture? I just think it's what we brought to the table here. And it depends on what you want to call the culture. You know, the way we look, you know, the way we play, the way we carry ourselves, the way we do things, the way we dress, you know what we can consider to be the culture. Now we saying all those things, then yeah, I wanted to come over and change certain things. Man, you have to be able to move with the times without sacrificing the game of football. One thing we'll never do is sacrifice the game of football. What I mean by that is the way that we play the game is never going to be allowed to be overcome by antics and anything else of that nature. When it's time to line up and we blow that whistle, it's time to kick it off, you cut the film on, you be able to see that, okay, these cats playing football. And we'll never sacrifice the meaning of the game and what it does for us in general, outside of just ball. So without being cocky or arrogant, you know, the culture is in you. You know, our culture is in me. And you know, and I tell those guys all the time, if you are a reflection of me, then it's gonna be a certain way. So I think it's just a reflection of, you know, who we are, you know, who I am as a coach, you know, who these guys that we brought in as coaches. It's just a reflection of what we are and what we stand for, how we do things. You know, yeah, we're gonna be in pregame, and you know, man, I'm 37 years old. I still like Jordans. I still like Air Max. You know, everybody else call them Air Force Ones. In New Orleans, we call them G Nikes. I still wear the G Nikes, and you know, I still like, you know, looking good and doing certain things. So yeah, we gonna carry ourselves a certain way, you know. But when it's time to come out of this locker room and come back on this field, it's gonna be done a certain way. You know what I mean? So I allow my guys in pregame to wear their shields, you know, have your shirt up, you know, have your sleeves on and do all that stuff. But when we come out this locker room, we're gonna look uniform. It's gonna look the same. We ain't gonna have on this and have on this different and all that, man. So, you know, and that's the thing, man. These kids having fun.
Word.
And they playing hard and they playing the game that they love, man. So I guess the answer to that is the culture is in us, and we just pulled out what's in us and just embedded into how we do things here.
I noticed that because the kids really do walk around with that confident chip on their shoulder. Like, wherever they go, like, they really are proud to say, like you said earlier, like, I played for Pleasant Grove. You know, I went to Pleasant Grove, graduated from Pleasant Grove, whatever. Like, you see that in them wherever they at. They be at the mall wearing the spirit packs and stuff like that, you know.
Man, you got to think, man, when I first got here, nobody was writing in the newspaper about us.
Right.
You know, we'll play a big game and nobody would say nothing in the newspaper. They wasn't even sending nobody over here. And it was frustrating. You know, it was frustrating because I know.
Because you knew what you had over here.
Right. And not only that, but when I played, we was getting news articles. Somebody was coming to the game, and I can't fault nobody else for that, you know. But the point of the matter was we wasn't getting that love. And so we carried a chip on our shoulder. We did, you know, and they still do, you know, because it's about being overlooked, you know, man. If anybody know anything about Pleasant Grove was built on the miners. It's a miners town. It was built on hard work. Folks that go underneath the ground for hours and work to come back up, you know, to be with their families, to survive, to feed their families. So, man, we always had a workman mentality over at Pleasant Grove. You know, I can't take all the credit, you know, for what's been done, man. If you go back to 1999 to 2002, from 2000 to 2022, a lot of folks don't know Pleasant Grove only missed the playoffs like twice in almost 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, but folks don't know that because it was just the simple work that was being done. You know, nobody's seeing it. You know, it's just Pleasant Grove and, you know, whatever, Pleasant Grove. You know, now that you actually, you know, seeing some of these guys that's coming out and, you know, now how it's being done a certain way, and we get to the point to where you gotta see us. You gonna see us. You gonna see us. You gonna see about us.
You gonna feel it too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that just kind of, you know, the avenue of how that thing is now. You know, from that point of view, man. But, you know, man, we've always worked over here. We just felt like we've always been overlooked. You know, and that's how we carry ourselves. That don't change. Whether we played for last year before, we still feel that way. You know, we still feel as if the disrespect is still there and nobody still don't respect what we do. So that's how we gonna work.
Word. What was the moment you felt the shift?
Oh, man.
I think I know the answer to this already.
You might know the answer to this. So we play in a certain city school my first year, and some things happened towards the end of the game that I agree with, whether it was done purposely or not. However, some things pursued after the game, and, you know, and things went in a way that, you know, I'm not the most proud about, you know, but it happened. When I got back in the locker room that night, and to see my guys still in uniform, having left, still in the locker room, and the first question was, Coach, how we gonna handle this? I knew then that, okay, it's time to go. You know, and in that moment, the room had been shifted. You know, the program was starting to shift, and from that moment, man, you know, I think the next game we lost from that moment was in the playoffs. And then, you know, and since then, I think the only loss that we've had was maybe been 4 since then, 5, maybe 5. You know, since we lost that game. You know, so you know, man, but that moment, that night in particular, was kind of the night that we knew that this thing then shifted to where it needed to be.
Word.
Yeah.
And you kind of, I want to say the whole school shifted, like athletics and all, like everybody kind of go around, like, I mean, with the Pleasant Grove football team swagger, like everybody want to be like, you know, pressure, you know, everybody kind of, you know, happy to say they play for Pleasant Grove, they want to come and dominate now.
I think it was a sense of pride. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's always been here. We've always been, Pleasant Grove have always been solid at anything that we did, you know, for the most part. And I think it just was a sense of pride, you know, and having that pride across the board, you know, just making it okay. Like, I don't have to hide or tell you that I went to Pleasant Grove or be uncomfortable with telling you, oh, nah, I went to PG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And and being able to look back at somebody have a conversation. You went to Pleasant Grove, well,
Yeah.
nah, you can't say you did that.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be the truth. You know what I mean? So just a sense of pride of what it means to me, and I just want everybody else to share those same ideas and identities, man, of of what PG football means, man, and and to carry it out throughout the school, that love in general. I just want to make sure everybody else is on the same board, because it can't work if they ain't on board.
Most definitely.
And man, getting everybody on board has been good.
Yeah.
So.
I know I brag like I'm the one that went out there and got 10 sacks and 20 touchdowns out there on Friday night. Again, like I said, I appreciate you coming over here with that, like, that mindset. You got the guys even feeling like that now. So,
Man, that's what it's about, though.
And I think it's little stuff like this that make the guys, like, proud to say something like that. It's just a whiteboard, but they come and see this and they just like, what we could do.
That just, just, man, when I got ready to be a head coach, man, I kid you not, man, I can, pull up my phone, man, and I can go to, let me see if I can search. So I can go to my notes and, let me see, this in it. Let me see if I can find it. So I can go into my notes, right? And, head coaching notes. And I don't know when I started this in like 2017, started taking notes. And, man, I just got a list of things I used to take notes about and just do in general, man. And just, so me being the head coach and preparing to be a head coach, I was preparing myself before I had the opportunity. I hadn't applied for a head job before, but I knew when I get my opportunity, get my chance, I got to set some things in motion. And a lot of those things are being able to come out now. The first thing on there says, I kid you not, you think I'm playing, man. The first question you asked me was what? What's the first thing on there say, do what?
Create a culture.
So, I mean, and, that was one of the things I knew I wanted to, wherever I went, what type of culture that was, a winning culture. Man, I came over here, I didn't want to come over here and get guys to buy into nothing that I was doing. You get folks to buy into what you're doing, eventually they're going to sell you out. Man, I wanted to come over here and build a program. So it's without a question, I don't care who here, who not here, that Pleasant Grove going to be a solid football team. When you first come in this field house, if you look up and you're going to see, that saying on the wall, and it says, players graduate, the standard don't.
Right.
And that's what we truly believe in. The standard has been set, by those guys, that's been here like you guys, and, guys that go back to my class. It's a standard, a set standard that was already set. So when I came in from Louisiana, like, those guys made sure they checked me on that. Like, hey, this how things go around here at Pleasant Grove. You know what I mean? It was a standard that was there. And, at some point in time, I think it might have been lost.
Yeah.
Faded away a little bit, so I just wanted to come here and just blow the dust off that standard that was already set, and went ahead and wanted to add some more pages to that book, man, and continue on building and create a program. We want to be a program. We don't want to just be a good football team. We want to create a program.
Right.
So
I like that because I feel like my team was a 2014 team, went to the championship, first time in school history. We felt like after that moment, my class at least, we felt like we belong there. And I think even between those years after I graduated in 2016, it kind of got lost back to like we could just make the playoffs. And now when you come to Pleasant Grove, that's not a thing. Like we go make the playoffs. Now we got to make the championship.
All right. I mean, when
at least that's what the players feel.
But we don't necessarily talk about championship talk around here.
Yeah, one game.
We 1 week at a time, but we do set goals. Man, we do want to play a first round home game. Playing the first round home game, you put yourself in a position to be one of the top teams in the region. We do want to do that. We do want to practice for Thanksgiving. You practice for Thanksgiving, then you a game. The next night you play in the semifinals, you're a game out of a championship, and then we'll start talking about that championship. Once we get to that point, man. But those are just the set standards of, what's expected. You know what I mean? All 9 region games this year are 6A schools. It's to the point now where we can't play 5A games, in regular season games anymore. 4A is not going to play us, or we getting the phone calls from the top 5, 6As and 7As in the state, that's going to be willing to play us, man. And it says a lot of what these kids have done, what this program has become when it's getting to the point of that. So.
That's awesome right there.
It's been fun.
Is there a loss that haunts you to this day, anywhere in your coaching career?
Man, one in particular, not necessarily, man. And maybe that first championship might be the one. A couple of things here and there is different by being so close. The St. Paul's one was tough, being up at halftime and kind of knowing some of the things that was going to happen, man. And we had one turnover all football season and have 4 in the state championship game. I think that first one might be the way that we lost. It was almost like movie ending. Of how it happened. Like it was like when it happened, he was like looking at the clock, like hold on, man, I know we got at least one more play in us, and that wasn't the case. So that's probably one of the tougher losses, so far. But nah, that one probably one that hurt the worst out of all of them.
Is there one particular that you the most proud of?
Wins?
Wins, yeah.
Man, you better have me giving these folks bulletin board material. All of them, man. Proud of all of them.
Yeah.
My first one.
What?
My first win, man. My first win. We went to play Mortimer Jordan. They had Mortimer Jordan. It was number 8 in the state. And I challenged the kids. I said, man, let's come back home 2-0. And we had Mortimer Jordan and I think West Block in the first 2 games, and I think Broadwood was like game 3, which is gonna be like the first region game. And I told him, I said, you go back home 3-0, watch how I be rocking out there, because folks want to come see you. And man, we beat Mortimer Jordan, which was a good football team. They was coming off a semifinal season.
Right.
Year before championship season. Had one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Man, my staff had been fully together maybe 2 weeks, and man, went out there and won that football game. So, man, that one gonna be one of the ones I always remember. Coach Luca came to the game. He came out to support me in my first head coaching game, man. So, I'll never forget that one, that first win, man, and the Broadwood game.
Oh, that's my favorite one. I done played in some PG game, but that's really my favorite. The second one in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's my favorite one with Chris Lou with the catch.
Yeah, man. And I can remember calling timeout. It was 3rd down. We called timeout. And I was talking to one of the coaches, and I told him, I said, man, I get ran up out of here if I don't throw this ball up to Chris Lou at least one time. And
had to die about that.
Man, yeah. So we went vert, and I knew they was gonna try to double and get over there, but when they was going out, I made Zay Hill. Zay plays the Y, which is the opposite side. Made Zay switch with Furlough, and put Zay Hill at the Y, in which they couldn't get over there too fast. Because if you would have got over there too fast, we just would have threw it to Zay. And the safety hesitated, and it gave us enough time to put Z and C. Lou in a one-on-one situation, man. And he did what he do, which is always something special. So he went and got it, man, and man was able to close it out. So those two probably the top one, the top 2.
Yeah,
definitely.
Is there anything in particular you get a little more fire in the tank when you play them?
All of them.
Or
all of them. Every week, all of them, man.
I could be missing and say mine.
What you gonna say?
That blue team. Blue team across town.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't no head coach, so I can be missing coach.
I know it. I mean, they're a solid football team, man.
Yeah, they are. I always got a lot of respect for them, man.
They are really. They're gonna be really good this year. I mean, the stuff that came with it, it wasn't warranted on our end. Like we didn't try to go out and create that. You know, I think a lot of folks, once we got the rolling, you know, try to use us as a means of creating something that wasn't there, you know. Man, our only rivals that I've ever known us to have was really
Every time.
right
Fairfield.
in Fairfield.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Righteous the only two, you know, that we can really account for. In my mind, that's what I was taught when I got here. That was, you know, who the rivals were. So, you know, everybody trying to make us be rivals with everybody else, man. You know, I don't want to sound arrogant and cocky, but, you know, a lot of times, man, it's just another big region game.
Word.
You know what I mean? For us, it's a huge region game. It's always going to have some type of, you know, consequences to it at the end of the day, man. So that's how we treat it. You know, which we treat all of them as another game, man. You know, but to sit there and say any region game, man, that we play is going to be big for us. But, you know, definitely when we play certain folks, it's, you know, always, you know, a little amplified, I guess you would say.
Do you see one where the guys get a little more amped up? Like you even see them working out, you know?
It's, you know, man, any region, most of the region games, when, you know, they got homeboys that's on the team.
Sure.
You know, they play Little League with or played against. You know, there's certain games you don't have to get them ready to play for. And there's certain teams that we play that you don't have to get them ready to play. So, you know, make my job easier that week.
Got like that, yeah.
So,
What's over here time? Why we ain't seen them on the schedule in the minute?
man, listen, I'm gonna let Here Time folks answer that. But I can tell you this: it ain't because we running.
Word.
So haven't ran or haven't tried, you know, but for other reasons we not playing them. You know, I just leave that out there like that. But it ain't because of Pleasant Grove don't want to play. Will we play them while I'm at Pleasant Grove? For those that are Spartan fans and everything, we probably won't ever play them as long as I'm here. I mean, you know, and I'll just say that some other folks created that, you know. Did I try? Yes. We played them in the spring.
Game,
you know,
yeah.
we brought it back.
As alumni, we want that.
I know it, and I tried.
Season, yeah.
I don't think that I didn't try, but if it's gonna be up to me, Darrell, LeBeaux, Coach Darrell, LeBeaux Senior, making a decision of playing here at time while I'm at Pleasant Grove, it's gonna have to be beyond me.
Yeah.
But you know, after everything that has come with it, you know, and the stuff that has come behind it, you know, and I'm just being all the way transparent with you about it. Nah, but have we tried? Are we running or ducking in the smoke? You've been around me long enough. You know we ain't gonna duck none of that. You know, we done played 6-18s coming off of state championship wins. You know, so you know if it makes sense, you know, and not putting my guys in a position to not be successful down the line, we're gonna do it. So, you know, with that being said, we ain't never ducked no smoke since I've been here. So I'll let y'all take that as it may. And I got evidence.
Okay.
So,
All right. 5th year rolling.
yeah.
Going into it.
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 years, been to the state championship.
Yeah.
What 6 regular season losses since you've been here? Something like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy number like that. Some number that people get to hate on. But a lot of people, you know, they got their jokes or whatever. For one, I also want to give you credit because you got to rally these guys together, and you do lead these young men like to be great old men one day. That's a challenge in itself. Like you said, 90% of the questions you get asked on a Friday ain't got nothing to do with football.
Nah, man. Nah.
But a lot of people just, you know, critics, whoever, parents, want to know, like, why we can't pop the top off that thing yet.
If they got the answer to it, tell them to come share the knowledge with me.
Yeah.
Man, just haven't been there. Last year we ran into that buzzsaw. You know, that's probably the best team we've played since I've been here. Probably the best football team we done played since I've been coaching here. You know, the other two, man, we didn't close out games, didn't get it done. You know, sometimes you gotta look back at yourself to try to figure out what's been the separation of getting it done, man. But you know, folks just get comfortable with just knowing and seeing us get there. Man, playing for a state championship is hard.
Very hard.
You know,
especially like 3-peat. That's
man,
tough.
listen, getting there is hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard work. It's long seasons, stressful seasons. You know, but to answer that question, man, I wish I knew the answer. If I knew the answer, we'd probably have 3 rings right now. You know, but you know, last year, man, ran into that buzzsaw in Pike Road. Hats off to them.
Real good team.
Previous 2 years, man, Central game, we could have did a couple different things differently and probably had a different outcome. I never let no kid take credit or for messing up a game or doing anything to take away from us from winning the football game. If we won the game, they get all the credit. If we lose the game, my shoulders broad enough to take it. So the second one, man, we just didn't take care of the football. Maybe I could have did some things differently, calling the plays, to put them in a better situation to be successful, to protect the football. So I take all those on the chin. You know what I mean? But I'm quite sure it's preparing me for something else. I don't know what that is yet. It may be to come. But man, it's lessons, definite lessons that has been learned and has gotten me better as a coach. Every year since. So.
Most definitely. A lot of people might even judge you out those losses. And again, like I said, I've been here with you since you got here, man. These guys, they really do love you. They love being around you. And even after those losses, you got guys that are emotional in the moment. And they'll just be like, man, I don't even think I should do this no more. Football can't be for me. But I think they see you keep going. And I've noticed this. They see you keep going. And it's just like, I know it's something more for me after this. So I also want to commend you for that because,
man,
for them to not see you quit, I think that means a lot for not only just the players. It means something to me. It means something for the whole community. Shoot, it's another day. Even if you win those championships, you got to reload again.
Got to, man. Man, I done been through so much other stuff in my life that hurt worse than, losing a football game. Now, do it hurt? Of course. Every year I probably leave the field house at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning planning for the next year. After every one of those losses, man. But man, those losses don't hurt no worse than being pulled out of the middle of your ACT test. To get a phone call to go home because your dad just passed, and now you went from being the oldest in the house and not having to be the man in the house. So that pain from that, losing the state championship game will never oversee that. You know what I mean? So it's just been other things in life, man, that I've been through that allowed me to be able to pick up and continue on moving forward. And I know that those young champs are watching me, so I know I have to carry myself a certain way. And if I'm not strong enough for them, now whether I get behind closed doors and have my moments, or in general, and have my moments, man, I have to make sure that I'm being strong for them. You know what I mean? For whatever little light that I may provide for them, I have to make sure I'm being that for them. Is it hard? Yes. Frustrating? Yes. But sometimes we gotta do some stuff outside of ourselves, man, in order to make other people better. So.
I used to say a lot of we. That was my first time really in the interview. Really, you saying I, other than when I asked you a question about yourself. But when you talk about the team and stuff like that, you say a lot of we, and then when the loss comes, you say I. Who holds you accountable?
Who holds me accountable?
Yeah, you the head coach. A lot of people may think like, can't nobody get to him, or
man,
who can get to you? Who gets through to you?
Who gets through to me?
Yeah.
Of course, my wife. My mom. She may think she don't.
Yeah.
But I listen. But definitely those two people, man, are big influences on my life, man. And there's other people in my corner, that I can lean on, and talk with and have those conversations. But man, I know I answer to a higher power than anybody. You know what I mean? So everything that's happened here so far at Pleasant Grove, not saying the loss is anything like that, but a lot of that stuff has been put there to happen already, in so many words, man. The success, I'm not surprised by the success that we've had here. It just is a matter of making sure that we came in and did it accordingly and did things a certain way. But yeah, to answer that question, man, my wife and my mom are two people that definitely can get to me and get through to me the fastest. Even though both of them may think I ain't listening,
Yeah.
you know, but I listen, I hear them. I hear them and I listen. So definitely both of them.
Word.
Yeah.
When did you learn the dad coach balance?
Oh man, still learning.
Word.
It's an ongoing thing, man. Man, I've been blessed with to have a wonderful spouse, man. My wife is awesome. And definitely when it relates to me being a football coach, you know, because she coached high school ball at one point in time too. You know, she was coaching high school basketball, so she understands it, and she allowed me to be coach. The equalizer to all of it, man, is coming home, win, lose, or draw, and baby girl, or after the game, and baby girl coming to give me a hug. You know, she don't know what the score is. She don't care about none of that. And being able to see her face, and it's still gonna be daddy. It's still gonna be smiles. So, and that's kind of the great equalizer to all of it, man. But that balance, I'm still learning. You know, to sit here and tell you, you know, that I'm not, man. I'm still learning, man. I wasn't given a playbook, you know, to how to be a dad, a playbook to how to be a coaching dad. You know, so I'm making mistakes, you know, as I go, man. But I'm learning, man. But time management, being able to set time aside, and definitely being able to, you know, when I do have that free time, making sure that free time does go to them. You know, whether that's taking little man to practice, or being at practice, or, you know, getting in the yard doing something with them, or, you know, having them here at practice, and in between water breaks, just spending time with them. Being able to do those things, and, you know, to have those conversations too. You know, you learn to take those small moments that you get, especially during the season. Off season, you know, I take a little bit more of the house dad role, as far as having to get them to certain places and do certain things, and to try to help her out. But, you know, man, she makes it go.
Yeah. I know the little man. I see one morning, you had him up at like, what, 5 a.m.?
Yeah, man. He, you know, he had a situation at school. You know, one thing about it, you know, if you don't start it, you better finish it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of them situations. There's gonna still be consequences for it. You know what I mean? But it was a situation where he had to have some extracurricular. You know what I mean? And that was my means of getting him to understand, like, you know, life throws you all type of curveball, man. You gotta be prepared for them. So, you know, we had to do a little extracurricular. But it might be something that we, you know, get ready to start doing going forward, man. He's just turned 10, and, you know, it's time to flip that switch on him a little bit, you know, and to push him into his greatness also. So.
Who you act like more, you or moms?
I don't know, man. In the reference of being his biggest critic, and when it comes to sports, you know, not letting his teammates down and getting frustrated because he may not be playing as well, and doing certain things, he definitely get that from me. You know, I used to cry when I was young about losing.
Me too.
You know what I mean? So he gets that from me, in which, you know, it's a unique thing, because you don't want him doing it, you know what I mean? But you don't want to take that from him, because he care about the game. He passionate about it. Now, we have a problem if he lose and then struck out 10 times, or then missed 10 tackles, or, you know, fumble the ball, and he, you know, come off the field like, hey, we get some ice cream, you know what I mean? Something like that. Now, I really got a problem on my hands, but it's not that. It's the opposite, you know. So he competitive, you know what I mean? He don't like losing, you know. I told him he got a couple more years. I'll play him in one-on-one. Before I stop playing, I'm gonna leave with my W. So he don't like losing, man. We could play 50 or play out, shooting in the backyard, and if I beat him, he looking at me like, man, if I was old enough, I'd fight you. So, you know, man, I can't take that from him.
Word.
You know. But I think it's a little bit of both, though. You know what I mean? He caring, you know, like his mom, and, you know, different things of that nature too. So,
yeah. I like how you got them all like incorporated, like with just you as a coach, and you know, it kind of make it. Like you said, your wife with the support system she is. It kind of make it easier for you, and it's also something I like to see, because I mean, you don't really see it often. And I think it's more so comes to the forefront like that black love type of thing, you know. Yeah. Man, I love y'all loving basketball stories too.
Man, it's
before you go there, who won that game?
I won.
Oh, okay.
That's when I realized I was gonna marry her. She threw the basketball at me. So I'm like, yeah, I might have to keep her around. She competitive.
Yeah.
Man, but you know, definitely, man. My thing is, you know, it's family for me in general. You know what I mean? Just having them around, you know, is big. You know, in general, man, I'm trying to break generational curses. You know what I mean? And different things of that nature. So, you know, that's why it's important to me. You know what I mean?
Word. All right, got one more question.
What you got?
I got some rapid fire questions, but one more question, then a rapid fire question.
Okay.
What is I'm gonna ask you what this quote mean? In due time.
In due time, man, everything, man. That's just kind of one of those things in high school. You know, right around that time with, you know, having that conversation with Coach Robichaud about being able to play at the next level. You know, I just felt as if with hard work and everything that I do, it happened in due time. You know what I mean? You can't rush the process. The process is going to be the process. You know, so whatever's due for me, it happened in due time. You know what I mean? You know, whether winning the state championship or not, if it's meant for me to have a state championship, you know, we'll have to fix whatever we need to fix to get it done, but in due time, you know, I get that opportunity. So, man, with all things, man, just learning to be patient and not rushing stuff, man. And if it's for you and it meant to be for you, man, it'll happen in due time.
All right. So, I like that.
That's the first time I was ever asked that question, man. You went digging, man. You found that one.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, rapid fire, real quick with it. Midnight snacking?
Yeah, that's why I'm husky now.
What you snacking on?
Man, Taco Bell,
Word.
late night game planning. I'm at Taco Bell 11 o'clock getting the number 7 chicken, soft shell taco, Baja Blast, and I might throw in a beef and nacho burrito in there too, man. Yes.
Oh, shoot, that's a midnight meal, coach.
Yeah, man, but you know, and then I got my other snacks, you know, man, but yeah.
I know you're old soul, so Good Times of Jefferson.
Oh, man. Good times. Good times. Good times. I got to go with good times. I got to see JJ.
Spicy or mild?
Spicy. Spicy.
All the way to the top of the spice level.
Man, listen.
1 to 5 on the spice level, where we going?
5 been the highest?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4. I can take 5. I can do 5, you know, but I'm going to go 4 so I can still enjoy it too.
Word.
You know what I mean? I'm a Louisiana boy, man.
Yeah.
We do spicy.
You can do 5 with no drink?
I can.
Ooh, boy.
I can. You know what I mean? I can. Maybe. It just depends. That drink make it worse sometimes.
It do, depending
on
what
it's
it is.
carbonated.
Yeah.
You know, drink a Coke and you eating something hot, man. I don't make it better all the time. Sometimes you be like, hold on, they didn't add a kick to it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, these one you might not let up on. Just a pre-game ritual or superstition you got.
Oh man. Pre-game, something that we do in general. I pray before every game. Pray by myself, and we pray as a staff before we go talk to the boys. My grandmother was alive. My great-grandmother, I used to always call her before the game, before she passed. It was like pre-game ritual, make sure I get that phone call in. But pre-game, that's it. Probably pre-game.
Okay.
I got other things.
That's all you letting up.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody can get God.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What's a secret that can get your black card revoked?
My secret?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't eat watermelon.
Word.
At all. I don't eat watermelon. Don't like cucumbers. What else?
Not play spades?
Oh, listen, man, don't get ran. But I would run a kid on you quick. We're gonna play spades.
That's my secret, so you know.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I can't play spades. I'm a taunt dude.
I'm decent at tongue. But watermelon, I don't eat watermelon, dog. Like, I don't know if it's a bad experience, but like my wife know, like after, like don't even
suggest.
Don't even bring it in the room.
Yeah.
Cucumbers and watermelon will mess up my day.
Word.
Yeah, dog.
You don't like the smell or the taste of nothing?
I don't like the smell of it at all. At all. At all, dog. Yep.
Well, I think we can still trust you with that little secret, you know.
Man, that'll work. I hope they don't take my black card for not eating the watermelon. I eat chicken though.
Right, that's good. Yeah, you like the spicy chicken.
I like the spicy chicken.
Well,
you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, that's that might be it. I don't think.
Yeah.
That might be it.
You seen New Jack City?
Yes.
Word.
I'm a movie fan, so it ain't too many movies you gonna say.
Oh, okay.
That
I
ain't seen. I
go
don't
down
know
that
about.
way.
You can go. It ain't nothing you can say. You know, I done seen them all, man.
Word.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Mar.
Both. Both of them have their own special little. It's just like saying Kool-Aid or soda. You know, you like both of them, but you like both of them for different reasons, maybe. You know what I mean? So, but I can't separate the two.
Word.
Love
All right,
both
one
of
more.
them.
This is my last one, I promise.
What you got?
Martin or Eddie?
Me? For me, Martin.
Word.
For me, Martin. Now I like Eddie, but for me, it'll be Martin. I guess a little bit more relatable to me in my time, I guess.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Now I like Eddie, but you know, I like Beverly Hills Cop Eddie. See what I'm saying? You know nothing about that.
I know about Beverly Hills Cop, yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Martin.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the
Man,
conversation.
appreciate you having me, man.
About the Blow Up podcast.
Man, you done got a lot out of me, man. You got a lot out of me, man. Appreciate you having me, man.
I appreciate you coming
Appreciate
on.
you
And, you know, we'll talk afterwards.
All right,
That's all I'm gonna say. Man, first of all, shout out to Coach LeBeaux, man. I appreciate you sitting down with me on About to Blow Up podcast, yo. Everything you did in the past few years at Pleasant Grove, man, it's been amazing. You know, you shifted the culture up here. We appreciate that all around, dog. You got the dudes like thinking like they are the best at what they do and whatever they do, and it's just oozing out of them, man. I hope they can take it out there in the real world, man. You making some good men out here. Great young man, gonna be great husbands, great dads, great athletes. But man, I appreciate you, and I'm speaking on behalf of the whole community about that, yo. Shout out to Coach LeBeaux, man.